Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing well. My name is Neeli and I am a student at Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, Bangalore. The topic of this presentation is corrosion. Let us study corrosion by understanding its definition, the electrochemical theory behind it, types of corrosion, and some methods to prevent it. It is a process in which a metal or an alloy is deteriorated by chemical reactions with the surrounding environment. Corrosion that occurs in a dry environment is called as dry corrosion, while corrosion in an aqueous environment is known as wet corrosion. Dry corrosion occurs by the direct attacks of atmospheric gases such as oxygen, hydrogen, sulfide, halogens, and sulfur dioxide on the metal, forming an oxide layer, whereas wet corrosion occurs in an aqueous medium, where the conducting surface of the metal undergoes an electrochemical reaction with the moisture and oxygen present in the environment. The phenomena of wet corrosion can be explained by using the electrochemical theory of corrosion. At the anodic region, an oxidation reaction takes place, and the metal gets converted into its ion through liberating electrons. Consequently, metal undergoes corrosion at the anodic region. At cathodic region, a reduction reaction takes place. Since the metal cannot be reduced further, metal atoms at the cathodic region are unaffected by the cathodic reactions. Here you can see at the anode oxidation takes place, in which the metal atoms are converted into their ions by liberating electrons. The cathodic reaction can occur both in presence and absence of oxygen. In an acidic medium without oxygen, hydrogen is liberated, while in an alkaline medium, hydroxide ions are formed along with the release of hydrogen. When oxygen is present in acidic medium, oxygen is absorbed, and in alkaline medium, hydroxide ions are formed. Here you can see the reaction in which iron ions from the anode combine with hydroxyl ions from the cathode to form iron hydroxide between the anode cathode area on the surface. Ferrous hydroxide further reacts with oxygen and excess of water to form hydrated ferric oxide, which is also known as rust. Types of corrosion. First, differential metal corrosion. When two dissimilar metals are in contact with each other and exposed to a corrosive conducting medium, the metal with lower electrode potential acts as an anode, undergoes oxidation, and gets corroded. Metal with higher electrode potential acts as the cathode, undergoes reduction, and is unaffected by corrosion. This type of corrosion is also known as galvanic corrosion. Second, differential aeration corrosion. When a metal is exposed to different concentration of air or oxygen, part of the metal exposed to a lower oxygen concentration becomes anodic and undergoes corrosion. The part exposed to higher oxygen concentration becomes cathodic and remains unaffected. Here you can see the example of differential metal corrosion. When aluminium is in contact with copper, aluminium becomes anodic, undergoes corrosion, whereas copper becomes cathodic and remains unaffected by the process of corrosion. You can pause the video here and observe the process of differential aeration corrosion in this picture. Aeration corrosion is of two types, pitting corrosion and waterline corrosion. Pitting corrosion is observed when dust particles or oil drops are deposited over the metal surface. It results when a portion of the metal covered by dust, which is less aerated, becomes anodic, undergoes corrosion, and forms a pit. The remaining area of the metal, which is exposed to a higher concentration of oxygen, becomes anodic and remains unaffected. In waterline corrosion, metal is in partial contact with water for a long time. The portion below the waterline is exposed only to dissolved oxygen. The portion above the waterline is exposed to more oxygen. Thus, the portion below the waterline acts as an anode and undergoes corrosion. The upper portion acts as a cathode and is unaffected. Here you can see how pitting corrosion takes place. Once a small pit is formed, the rate of corrosion increases because the formation of small anodic region, which corrodes faster. After then, accepting electron from the cathodic area increases. In waterline corrosion, it has been observed that a distinct brown line forms just below the waterline due to dust deposition. One of the examples for waterline corrosion can be a ship that remains partially immersed in seawater for a long time. Moving to corrosion control methods, we have protective coating, in which applying a protective coating on the metal surface prevents corrosion by isolating it from the corrosive environment. Galvanization is the process of coating zinc on the base metal surface by hot dipping. Galvanized materials are used in fencing wires, buckets, bolts, nuts, nails, screws, etc. Sacrificial anode is the method that involves connecting the metal structure to be protected to a more active metal using a metallic wire. The more active metal gets corroded, while the parent metallic structure is protected from corrosion. In impressed current method, the metal to be protected is connected to a negative terminal of an external DC power supply. The positive terminal is connected to an inert electrode such as graphite. The metal acts as the cathode and hence does not undergo corrosion. The inert electrode acts as an anode but does not undergo corrosion because it is inert. With this, I would like to conclude the presentation. I hope you found the video informative and learned something. Thank you for tuning in. Don't miss out the next video.